before you point another finger, did you ever look in the mirror? Well then, come sit on Mama Graves' porch. Now, let Mama Graves ask you something real, and don't you go lying to yourself while I'm talking who you are right now. Is that really you, or is that the version of you stitched together in the dark just to survive people who kept wounding you in broad daylight? I'm serious. Is that your personality, or is that your emergency shelter? Is that your nature? Or just the mask you had to nail onto your face so nobody would punish you for having needs? Because some of y'all keep saying, this is just how I am. No, baby. That might not be how you are. That might be who you had to become so chaos wouldn't chew you up and spit you out before you even got grown. And if that's the case, we need to talk. Because if you never stop and ask who built this version of you, you will spend your whole life calling your wounds a personality. And that right there is how people stay stagnant for years. Not because they lazy, not because they weak, but because they keep trying to build a peaceful life with a survival self that was only designed to make it through war. And child, survival don't know how to rest. Survival don't know how to receive. Survival don't know how to trust. Survival only knows how to scan, brace, shrink, perform, and endure. So today, we're going all the way in. We're talking about who you had to become, why it kept you alive, why it's poisoning your peace now, and what you have to do to finally unlearn the version of you that was born in damage. And if this step on your toes, good. Maybe your soul tired of tiptoeing. Let's start here. People love saying, that's just my personality. No, sometimes that ain't your personality. Sometimes that's your trauma in a costume. Sometimes that's your nervous system with lipstick on. Sometimes that's an old survival strategy that got promoted so many times inside you that it started answering to your name. You became the easy one, the strong one, the quiet one, the funny one, the helpful one, the one who doesn't need much, the one who doesn't ask for nothing, the one who can handle it. And everybody praised that version of you because that version of you was convenient. But let me ask you a filthy question right out the gate. Who benefited from you becoming low maintenance? Who benefited from you never asking for help? Who benefited from you smiling through pain like your suffering was good manners? I would write these down because some of y'all were not mature for your age. You were emotionally evacuated. You were a child learning how to manage grown folks' storms so they wouldn't flood your little heart any worse than they already had. And the reason this matters is because if you don't know what built you, you won't know what's been secretly running you. A lot of people think healing means becoming better. No. Sometimes healing means becoming unfamiliar. Unfamiliar to the self that survived by over-explaining, people-pleasing, avoiding conflict, performing perfection, being useful, being quiet, being agreeable, being numb. That was not a personality quiz result. That was a hostage negotiation. Now let's break it all the way down. There are a few common survival cells people build in dysfunctional environments. 1, the peacekeeper. This is the one who learned early that tension meant danger. So now they smooth everything over. They anticipate moods. They soften the truth. They make excuses for everybody. They apologize for the weather, not because they kind, because they terrified of emotional explosion. Filthy question. How much of your kindness is really fear dressed up nice? 2, the hyper-independent one. This one learned nobody was coming. So they stopped asking, stopped needing, stopped trusting, stopped leaning. Now they wear independence like a crown, but it's really a cast. They don't know how to receive, because receiving once came with humiliation, disappointment, or debt. Filthy question. Are you really strong, or are you just too scared to need anybody and get let down again? 3. The overachiever. This one learned love had conditions, so they became exceptional, useful, impressive, productive, pleasant, accomplished. They don't rest because somewhere in their bones they still believe value has to be earned. Filthy question, if you stop producing for a minute, would you still know who the hell you are? 4. The funny one. This one learned how to turn pain into entertainment. They can joke through anything, laugh through disrespect, crack a smile while they quietly fall apart. Everybody loves them because they make heavy things easier to look at. But nobody asks how much blood is under them punchlines. Filthy question. How long you been using humor to keep folks from seeing you bleeding? 5. The emotionally numb one. This one doesn't feel much anymore, or at least they don't let themselves. They disconnect, detach, stay flat, stay guarded. They call it being chill. No baby. That's not chill. That's shut down. Filthy question. Are you peaceful or just too frozen to feel what hurts? Now, before we rip this all the way apart, let Mama Graves say something important. That version of you is not shameful. It kept you alive. Let's be clear. If you grew up around manipulation, emotional neglect, criticism, instability, control, or unpredictability, your system adapted. You did what you had to do. You learned the weather in the room. You learned how to read footsteps. You learned how to talk in a way that wouldn't get punished. You learned how to disappear when needed. You learned how to be useful because useful children get tolerated. That was wisdom under pressure. That was intelligence in an unsafe place. So this is not about beating yourself up for surviving wrong. There is no such thing. You survived. That matters. But here's the turn. What kept you alive back then might be keeping you stuck now. A raincoat helps in a storm. But if you keep wearing it in the middle of summer, you're going to suffocate in your own protection. And that is exactly what some of y'all are doing. You still wearing armor in rooms that require intimacy. Still using silence in places that require honesty. Still using detachment in situations that require presence. Still using performance in places where your raw self would have been enough. You survived so well. You forgot how to live. And that ain't an insult. That's a tragedy. Now hold on to your wallets, because this is where it gets expensive. That survival self is costing you. It's costing you healthy love, because people who treat you right feel suspicious. People who communicate clearly feel boring. People who don't play games feel unfamiliar. You don't trust healthy because unhealthy trained your taste buds. Filthy question. Do you really want peace, or do you just want a calmer version of chaos you already know how to survive? It's costing you your voice, because you still explain everything, still edit yourself, still test your words before they leave your mouth, still ask for permission in rooms you already paid for with your pain. It's costing you rest. Because survival thinks rest is danger. Rest means you might feel. Rest means you're not proven. Rest means your body gets a minute to tell the truth. And some of y'all stay busy because being productive is easier than being honest. Filthy question. How much of your discipline is really just you outrunning what hurts? It's costing you your identity because now you don't know what you actually like, what you actually need, what you actually feel. You know what keeps others comfortable. You know what gets approval. You know what avoids conflict. But do you know you? It's costing you your future because you cannot build a free life with a self still built for captivity. That's like trying to plant a garden in a house fire. Wrong conditions, wrong version, wrong tools. Now, if these hit, don't flinch. Listen, you might still be living out your survival personality if you apologize when nobody asked you to. You over-explain your no. You feel guilty resting. You feel suspicious when people are kind. You choose people who need managing because chaos feels familiar. You don't know how to ask for help without feeling weak. You feel most valuable when you're useful. You crave love but can't receive it. You call yourself private, but really you just scared to be seen. You say, I'm fine, when your soul look like a foreclosure. You numb out instead of speaking up. You think self-abandonment is loyalty. You downplay your pain so nobody has to deal with it. You still perform calm while your insides are screaming. You don't trust your own decisions. You still hear old voices in how you talk to yourself. Now let Mama Graves ask you this. How much of your daily behavior is actually yours? And how much of it is an old emergency response with good posture? Because if you don't know the difference, you will keep romanticizing your own dysfunction. I want you to sit with these, not skim them, not nod cute, sit in them. Who did you have to become to stay safe? What parts of yourself got cut off because they were inconvenient to the people around you? Who taught you that needing was dangerous? Who taught you that being chosen requires shrinking? When did being low maintenance become your whole identity? Why do you still perform strength in rooms where softness would be safer? What are you still doing for survival that your current life no longer requires? What would happen if you stopped being useful and just were? Would the people around you still know how to love you if you weren't helpful, funny, easy, quiet, or strong? Do you even know what your real self sounds like underneath all that adaptation? And here's the filthiest one. If the person you are today was built in reaction to pain, who might you become once pain stops being your architect? That question right there, that one can split a life open. Now, let's not just bleed on the porch. Let's clean the wound. Step 1. Name the version of you that survived. Was it the fixer, the performer, the peacemaker, the ghost, the achiever, the little adult, the easy one? Name it, because what's unnamed stays slippery. Step 2. Stop worshiping the role. Some of y'all are proud of the very thing that's breaking you. I'm just a strong one. No, baby, you're exhausted. I just don't need anybody. No, baby, you're defended. I hate drama. No, baby, you're conflict avoidant to the point of self-erasure. You can appreciate what that self did for you without turning it into your whole identity. Step 3. Start practicing what once felt unsafe. Rest, receiving, boundaries, honesty, asking, saying no, taking up space, being inconvenient. Yes, inconvenient. Because the healed version of you is going to inconvenience every system that profited off your silence. Step 4, let your body catch up. Healing ain't just mindset. Your body got memories. That means when you set a boundary, you may feel guilty. When you rest, you may feel lazy. When someone is kind, you may feel suspicious. That don't mean you're doing it wrong. That means your body still expecting the old punishment. Keep going. Step 5, build a self that wasn't born in fear. Ask, what do I like? What do I need? What do I believe? What feels good to me? What feels safe to me? What kind of love actually nourishes me? Not the survival answer, the real one. Healing is not becoming nicer. Healing is not becoming more impressive. Healing is not becoming digestible. Healing is when you stop apologizing for having needs, stop proving your worth through pain, stop translating your boundaries into something easier for others to swallow. Stop handing out access to people who only know how to misuse it. Healing is when your life starts getting real unfamiliar to the version of you that survived on scraps. Healing is when peace stops feeling boring, when rest stops feeling illegal, when no stops feeling cruel, when being seen stops feeling like danger. Healing is not becoming someone new. It's becoming someone less colonized by what hurt you. And if this right here is punching you in the chest, good. That means something in you is waking up. And for the ones sitting here thinking, I need more than a sermon. I need something I can hold, something I can work through. Mama Graves already got that brewing. Because this ain't just a video topic, this is a whole journey. There's a workbook concept growing out of this called the Survival Personality Workbook and Unlearning Who You Had to Be. Because some of y'all don't need another pep talk. You need a mirror, a map, and a place to put down the version of you that was born in dysfunction. And when we build that, it's going all the way in. The roles, the patterns, the lies, the habits, the guilt, the grief, the rebuilding. Because this kind of healing deserves structure. Now listen to Mama Graves real close before you go. If you made it through this whole video, don't you dare leave here feeling ashamed. You need to understand something. Just you sitting here and listening to this, just you being willing to look in the mirror this long, that already means you're deeper in your healing than you think. Most folks never even question the version of themselves that survival built. They just keep living from it, dating from it, parenting from it, working from it, bleeding from it. But you sat here and looked at it. That matters. That is movement. That is growth. That is one step closer to the best version of yourself. The version that don't have to perform, shrink, explain, overgive, or disappear. Just to be loved. So if any part of this hit you hard, come on down in the comments and tell Mama Graves. Tell me where you are in your healing journey. Tell me which part felt like somebody turned the lights on. Tell me if you want me to go deeper into any of these survival personalities, because I will. And if this helped you, say that too. And for the folks looking for something tangible, something you can sit with and work through at your own pace, I've got a book in the works. Blood Ain't Always Family. When Loyalty Becomes a Prison. And that book is for the ones who were taught to stay loyal to the very things that were suffocating them. It goes into toxic family patterns, guilt, emotional survival, boundaries, and how to finally stop calling self-betrayal love. So keep your eyes open for that. And hear me good, child. Mama Graves love you too much to let you stay stuck. Not in old roles, not in old pain, not in old personalities built by people who couldn't love you right. So take what hit today And don't just cry about it. Use it. Now